rioters, swear to God we hit the open road tonight trying to cure Ethan. You are purifying, right? Right? We're going to talk some good games tonight. It's episode 187 of Indie Game Riot. Indie Game Riot!
Everybody, I am Josh, joined once again by Vance and Rev. First off, I'd like to apologize for the weird schedule. We've been off for a little bit, and then we're doing a live show on a Monday. Part of the problem is that I've got a much busier schedule right now with work, and I'm also coaching baseball, and this is not for sure yet, but I may also be moving in the near future. So I've got a lot of things going on, and it kind of forced everything to just reshuffle around, so I apologize for that.
On the good side, though, the reason his work schedule is so busy is because you got a promotion.
Yes, which is how we're able to move. That said, next week we will also not have a show because of Rev not going to be able to. He's got some surgery going on, so he's unless he's going to be unconscious on stream. You know what I'm saying? On stream. There we go.
I will be going under anesthesia for this.
Ooh, we could stream that during the show.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't. And also, okay, along those lines, I was talking with somebody and they were like, it'd be really funny. You could, talk in, your mouth spitting blood out the camera. And I was like, no, man, that would be gross. And I'll have to tell you the story about me versus the flight attendant after oral surgery.
Man, one of the funniest things, it makes me laugh more than almost anything else, is people on anesthesia and the shit they say and do. Man,
right?
It's the most.
Am I stupid?
I had a particular friend who may or may not be in chat. It's not Ian, but they called me while they were on anesthesia, and they were angry. They were angry and crying because they thought the dentist stole their teeth, and they wanted it back. It's just stuff like that, man.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, so next week we will be off, but then following after that, we actually will likely be moving to Wednesdays for live streams for the most part, outside of maybe some rare stuff here and there. But that's probably, at least until baseball season's over, going to be the best time. There also may be some times where we're running late. I'll try and keep people up to date on Twitter and Discord and things like that, but just keep in mind and bear with us. We're still trying to push through, and as I get used to this new schedule and figure out how to best manage it and everything like that. But just wanted to let everyone know. After that, on a different note, Indie Revolution Expo coming up next month. Get your games in. Sign up for presentations now. Get those time slots that you want if that matters to you. Go to indierevolutionexpo.com, click on the registration tab, and register. Tell everyone you know. We want to make this a nice full event and make it a fun one. That said, too, IRX Jam is happening now. If you're a game, and it's only just been a day or two. Yeah. So there's still time to join.
11.
Yeah, go join. Make yourself a game. You could win $100, a free T-shirt, and get a presentation during, or not presentation, but get an exhibit during IRX. So again, that's on itch.io, but you can find a link on indierevolutionexpo.com as well. But yeah, go join that game jam now if you are interested in making a game. Anything else, guys? I know it's been a while. Anything else you want to update everyone with, or?
I have a gaming laptop.
Yes. Congratulations.
And these poor guys keep getting bombarded by it, but you guys out in the public are just now able to hear it. My former work e-waste laptop suddenly decided it was finally done with the torture I was putting it through, and my lovely partner surprised me when I came home one day from the office with a laptop that has like a processor in it and RAM,
A processor and RAM. Oh my
and a
god.
video card. Yeah, and a video card.
Not running off of DOS anymore.
Yeah. No, it's an i9. It's got like 16 gigs of RAM. It's got an actual NVIDIA video card in it, not just on board, whatever. And it's got like LED things. I can't figure out how to turn those off. But
thank you,
yeah,
partner.
no, I'm really excited. I can play games without it having problems.
Yes, yes.
Like modern games.
Vance, anything you got going on during the past few weeks?
Been working like a beast on this new upcoming game that I've been working on. It's yet to be released. It's going to be a card game, not an adventure game for once. So yeah, just been on that every moment that I can, and I'm really excited to probably have a Steam page up in like a month or so about it. And yeah, just really excited about that.
Yes, awesome. And you're going to share with us once it's complete, I hope. Not that you have to give us keys, but I mean like share on the show what when it comes out. And I just Ian in chat said your old laptop's chipset was Cool Ranch.
Yeah, probably.
You know what would really get you in the mood to eat some Cool Ranch?
Munchies, drugs, indie news injection.
This week on Indie News Injection, we want to let you know that a little game called Dredge is joining the plethora of indie games turning into movies. It's kind of crazy, honestly, how many indie games. I mean, I guess it makes sense in a way because of the success of like The Last of Us and the Mario movie and most recently Fallout. Which I kind of want to hear your thoughts eventually. It doesn't have to be on the show, Rev, but I know how your feelings are with Fallout, so I'm curious. But I guess it makes sense with all these successful game movies and shows coming out that it's more, it's happening more and more. But it's cool to see these small indie studios, or at least comparatively to compared to AAA, get these deals. But yeah, Dredge is getting turned into a movie, a live-action movie from the studio, what is it called? Story Kitchen, which I've actually never heard of, but it looks like Mike Goldberg, if it's the same Mike Goldberg I'm thinking of, it could be a different Mike Goldberg. It's a fairly common name. But he's actually, if it's the same one, he's actually a pretty big producer, I think, producer and writer in Hollywood. So that's kind of interesting if that is the same one. As well as some others producing it from that studio. But I don't know, it's really cool. It's one thing I'm a little cautious about when thinking about this is cosmic horror and like the Cthulhian, like the whole universe, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to find good media about that. It's hard to do, I guess.
Yeah.
The game was good
about it. I'm not saying specifically about this game, but yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of stuff that's about like Eldritch horror,
right?
Cthulhian
but
stuff.
A lot of it is bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Dredge is great though, so I'm cautiously optimistic about that. But to translate it to screen, I'm kind of curious, especially the fishing aspect of it. I'm a little curious how that's going to go, but it's cool to see this happening. You guys going to watch it? Because I know how you, especially Rev, how you feel about like horror stuff.
I probably will. I mean, these guys have done like they have quite a bit of positive success under their belt, right? Like they've got they helped with the John Wick series, Violent Night, Tomb Raider, the Sonic the Hedgehog movies that have recently come out. Like they're very much involved in a lot of things. I'll give it a try. Worst that happens is I get like. I mean, if it's just a movie, then yeah, I'll watch it. If they end up turning it into like a series, then worst case scenario, I'll watch a couple of episodes and see if it grabs me. But I have no problem sitting down and watching a movie.
I didn't know they were involved with those. I liked Violent Night, and then Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, right?
Those movies were good. I watched the two that are already out. Tomb Raider sucked, but that was I'll give him a pass on that because that was like a while ago. Because it was at not the Lara Croft, the Angelina Jolie one.
No, the like the animated series coming up, and like, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, in that case, I have no idea.
They're doing an upcoming Streets of Rage adaptation.
I heard about that too.
They're also doing a version of It Takes Two, as well as Toe Jam and Earl is getting an adaptation.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. I mean, that one I feel like Toe Jam and Earl I feel like should just stay in the 90s, and I don't know if it has a place. I don't know if it has a place because they tried to do that remake, if you remember. And I think we covered it, and it's not a bad game, but there's definitely just a mood. It's very nostalgic, and that's really what it's going for. Because past that, I don't know if it has a place in this era. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm excited for that. And speaking of new things, I guess.
Yeah. So that's as good a segue as any. So longtime watchers of the show or people that have been involved in the indie community for any period of time probably know who Rami Ismail is in some form or another. You've probably met him, attended a talk, something of that. Back in 2010, he was a co-founder of Vlambeer Studio, and it's been a while. And they are going to part ways. He was amicably bought out by his co-founder, Jan, and they are going to see what happens going forward. He's got some new things to try, and I'm really excited. Sad to see him go. They had some really cool games that we have covered over the years and really gotten some joy out of, and wish them the best, and interesting to see what comes next for them.
And I think what it is, if I'm reading correctly, is basically he's got a lot of other stuff going on and just does not have the time or the ability to move it in the direction and keep it going the way it is, how they want it to be, because he's doing a lot of speaking and just consulting and things like that, and he's traveling all the time. He's freaking got his pilot's license now, I think. So to stress just that it is, again, it was agreed to. There was no drama behind the scenes as far as we know. So it seems to be very amicable, and hey, how about you buy me out so that I can focus on this and you can keep going. So I wonder how much Vlambeer is worth.
I don't know,
because they had successful games, but they're not like the biggest studio. I'm just curious. All right, I think if you have a problem with either of these two news stories, maybe you should go start a riot. This week on Starting the Riot, we're talking about open roads. So open roads is actually a really... I would call it a walking sim almost, but it's not. You're not really walking through anywhere. I mean, you kind of are, but it takes you from location to location, and you're walking through these areas, I guess. So kind of, and you're picking up these basically memories. You're looking into the past, your family's past, kind of uncovering a bit of a mystery while you're doing it. But basically, you are a daughter traveling with her mother to uncover some secrets, I guess, after your grandmother died. The really cool thing about this game is that the environment is very nice looking, but it's definitely like reminiscent of like Gone Home and stuff like that. But the character models, interestingly, are hand drawn and animated. Not fully animated, but when they start to talk, they kind of have like an emote, I guess you could call it, which is just really sticks out to me. It reminds me very much of like late 80s, early 90s animation too, in the style that's done. Really beautiful drawings as well. Really good voice acting, by the way. Fully voice acted and really well done. But anyway, so you start off at your grandmother's house where you actually have been living for a while. Your dad is not with your mom anymore. He's actually out in, I think, what was it, like Arizona or something
California.
like that. Was it California? It's out somewhere in the West. Looking for some kind of treasure. He's kind of a slacker as much as you love him. And try not to go too much into depth because this whole game is basically a narrative experience, and being that it's a whole narrative experience, I don't want to ruin it for you. But as you're going throughout this house, you are uncovering memories. You're talking to your mother about your family history, what's up with her grandma, things in the past, her aunt,
your aunt.
Yeah, and kind of. It's somber but also happy because you start talking about things about your grandma, who was interestingly an advice columnist, who I guess was really successful at it, and based on things you find around the house, you find out that she had dementia of some sort, and eventually passed away. And here you are at this cleaning out the house because you have to move out and sell the house. So it's a big flip upside down for you as the teenager and the mother, having to deal with the death, having to deal with cleaning out the house and all the things that come with that, finding a place to live, because at this point you don't even have a place to live, and then on top of that, uncovering the mystery again. I don't want to spoil it, but uncovering the mystery that you find,
as far as I can tell.
Yeah. So big time must check out if you're a narrative fan. I will warn you though, for those who are that don't have the patience to sit and read and or listen to this narrative, because it's all voice acted or read, you're probably not going to enjoy it. I do. Did
you like Firewatch? If so, you're probably gonna enjoy this. It's in that realm.
Gone Home, Firewatch, all those sorts of things. Different.
Yeah.
Not quite as nefarious feeling as those do.
Yeah. This one's much more wholesome.
Yeah.
At least as far as I've gotten, even with the salacious aspects.
Mm-hmm. But it's almost humorous in certain ways with that.
Yeah.
Because the grandmother is they call her, the teenager calls her vivacious at one point, and I'll leave it at that. So really interesting. How far did you get into it, Rev?
So I only had about an hour that I could throw at this, just due to some stuff that came up. But I got to the vacation house.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We had just arrived and gotten out, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta go do a thing.
Yeah. The
thing was amazing barbecue, so I'm not gonna
Man, I want some barbecue. Make me hungry.
But no, I had a lot of fun with it. It was very like, the attention to detail is there. Like some of the stuff that they have just included in terms of the objects and whatnot, and like how those almost everything that you grab is going to have some kind of memory or
Is this like a? It's like a wholesome family drama. That's how I think I would explain it best. Which is weird to say, at least at this point, I would say, because I didn't finish it yet. But that's what I'm getting from it so far. There is definitely some turmoil, but
I watched a video of the whole thing. Didn't pick it up and play it, but I mean that's almost like playing it because it is a story. It's like an interactive movie, basically. So yeah, I watched the story. So I do actually know the ending and how everything shook out. I will say, I not give anything away, but I did definitely call the ending pretty early on. I don't know if it's just me, but I figured it out.
All right, Batman. Jeez. I mean, but despite predicting it, and by the way, this takes place in like the early 2000s, so just to give you kind of a sense of setting in the game too, which we're just talking about nostalgia between segments here, and this kind of hit that a bit too, just living in that time period. Mm-hmm. But how did you guys? I mean, I know Rev, you only got about an hour in. I didn't finish it yet. You saw the whole story, Vance. How did you feel about the story and writing in general? From since this is a narrative-heavy game.
The discovery aspect. I mean, that's really something that's interesting to me. Is when there's this kind of massive picture and you just find puzzle pieces to it along the way, it keeps your brain working, and like I said, just constantly figuring things out and like, this might be true, this and so like that's I mean, besides also there's the interpersonal story, the relationships that keep in any good story needs good interpersonal relationship aspects, and I thought it was it looked really well put together. Like every place that you go and piece that you find seems to kind of further engage your mind and kind of further the story along. So yeah.
Just to give you some information here, Open Roads was developed by the Open Roads team. On point. Publisher, by the way, Annapurna Interactive. I've seen more and more crop up. They're putting out some quality. They're publishing some quality games, and a lot of it seems to be on this wholesome side. So they're kind of getting their own little niche in there. Because I think they did. What was that game? We didn't cover it.
Cocoon and Stray.
Yeah.
The Pathless.
Yeah.
12 Minutes.
None of those are the ones I'm thinking of, but they're all kind
Outer Wilds.
They're all kind of the mysterious yet cozy kind of games, is the point. Although Outer Wilds was
Edith Finch.
Some of those were a little kind of scary to me. Some of those parts, but or stressful at least. It is currently for $19.99. Oh yeah, I see where you're looking at this. Donut County, that was another one. Storyteller, that was anyway, that's not about those games.
They've done a lot of they've published a lot of really cool games.
They did Journey as well.
I said that. Did you not hear me say Journey?
No, I don't listen to you. $19.99 on Steam if you want to go check it out. And it won an award. It was an official selection for Day of the Devs last year. So good for them. Do you guys have any other things to say about it or questions? It's not a whole lot to go about it because there's no like mechanics or anything. It's all art and narrative. Although I will say one thing, it's not like a deal breaker or anything like that, but it was a little funny. Some parts, especially in the beginning, like there's a part where you pick up a piece of pottery that your grandmother made in her pottery room, and then you're holding it up, and then you go to say, go to talk to your mom as you're holding it up, and then the piece is still floating there when the cutscene happens, and it was like right in front of her face. So she's saying this like really serious thing, but there's like a big pot like right where her head is. So it was a little hard to take that seriously, but
Mom, are you on pot?
Well, on that note. So Open Roads, go check it out, support the indie devs, and I got no transition here, so
nothing.
Yeah, that's
Peep
fine.
show.
Peep show.
Godsworn. It is an awesome RTS, and that's what we're talking about on this week in Peep Show. My brain just went wrong spots. Sorry.
Hey, man. That's cool.
So I'm actually a big fan of a lot of RTSs. Now that I have a gaming laptop, one of the first things that I did was reinstalled Warcraft 3, and I've been playing through that off and on.
I knew
on
you
occasion.
would like this game too. I knew.
Yeah, as soon as I was like, "Ooh, Godsworn, that sounds interesting."
I'm
what
a little
do we got?
surprised Vance didn't get into this. Just unless you were just saving your money, because I know you got it going on. But
those kind of RTS games aren't really my bag, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Are you more a fan of like the Civ style, or
what do you mean? Style?
Oh,
like Civilization?
Well, that's like a 4X strategy instead of an RTS.
Yeah, that's a strategy.
Yeah, okay.
I love it.
Okay, so anyways, Godsworn. It is. I have not been able to put together the story so far. Although I have gotten about halfway through what is currently available on early access. Mechanically, I do appreciate some of what they're doing. Other parts I have some minor issues with. At least in the first couple of chapters, you have there are two of you that you can play as, and whichever one you aren't playing as is controlled by the computer. When you're in the base building aspect, you end up fighting for resources with the AI version. With your AI partner, but I do really like that basically everything that you gets doubled, and a part goes to them as well, and that includes for like combat and stuff like that. It's very much kind of like a hero RTS, very in line with like Warcraft 3 kind of thing. I'm really enjoying the mechanic of I'm playing as the god, and like all of your villagers and everybody that can gather resources and whatnot for you are your worshippers, and there is a hard limit on your worshippers, which is kind of interesting, and it's not something that you can control. They just kind of like respawn in until they hit that limit, and you only have so many, and you can assign some to hunt for food or to do farming or whatever. And the more of them that you have at your altar, basically, like everybody has their base attacks, but if you want to use an ability or you want to learn a new ability when you level, you need to have enough worship points saved up for that, and that's like building a building costs worship. It's a really kind of interesting mechanic. The other thing that I really liked about this mechanically was that I didn't have to do a whole lot of keyboard interaction. When you're just kind of like lazy, like I could press left control and then click, and that is attack move, and that's like 95% of anything that you need in an RTS. And I really appreciated just how simple that was. I didn't have to I gotta remember to do this and this, and so it's really solid. Like I said, other than that gripe about like fighting my AI opponent for resources, in the base building side. I really like this. Like I said, I'm still not entirely sure what the storyline is, but the unit options are varied. I really liked there's one you encounter earlier on where it's like a little gold dragon dude, and you feed him some treasure and he gets big and then starts blowing fire, and he like auto loot. It's really cool. There's mechanical depth to this that I am enjoying.
It reminds me a lot of like some of the Blizzard RTSs mixed with like Age of Mythology.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Age of Empires, but the big part of Age of Empires is like turtling. You know what I mean? And,
right.
Like, building
yeah.
up your whole thing, and you can't really do that because of the hard limit and all that stuff.
I guess if I were to give a like what of the story I've gotten together, it's basically like Christianity has come to the area. And
that's never a good thing.
And they're like, oh, stop worshiping those pagan gods in your village, like come worship at our chapel.
Yeah,
and
it takes
wiping
place in,
them
like,
from our.
It takes place in the Baltic area, I think, and it's supposed to be like in like the 1200 to 1300 century or something like that. And it's like, so it mixes that historical aspect of like you said, Christianity coming in, but it mixes it with the mythology of the area, which is actually pretty cool. I like that idea.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be in early access for about a year, maybe a little bit less or a little bit more. I mean, and they are first like for $29.99, you get the first 5 missions of the story campaign. You can also do skirmish maps against AI or versus another player, up to 8 player, and co-op, which is a really interesting thing for an RTS. I know like StarCraft 2 had some co-op missions together, but
I think you can each, like, if you co-op with another person, I think you can both pick one of the two
correct
gods that and play together like that, right? Like
yeah, like they'll be and you'll end up fighting your teammate for resources. But it's solid for what it is. I'm interested to see more. They said it's they plan at least double the amount of content by the time they come out of early access. The price may increase when they do their full release. So
well, they have a roadmap and everything too. Gives you like the full campaign readout, adding some more heroes, because right now I think it's only 2 of them are playable.
Correct.
One map per month they've got going on. More PvE, some more climates, I guess, and then a bunch of other random improvements I'm not going to list off because it's too long.
The fact that this is all being done by 2 developers is kind of impressive to me.
Always is. Indie devs are impressive in general.
In general, but like sometimes you come across the scope of, you know, something like this and go, oh yeah, no, like this is two folks or Stardew Valley, you know, one guy. So check it out. It is definitely if you're a fan of RTSs, and even if you're not, like go check it out. Like it's not overly complicated, but there is definitely enough depth to it if you want. You know, managing through your resources of, you know, do I assign more people to, you know, gather food or mine versus come back and worship because I'm about to go into combat. Like there's definitely some choices that need to be made. and I'm really looking forward to the full release. I did buy this already on early access on Steam, so
good job, Thunder Oak Interactive. That said, if you can't afford the $30 price tag, that's okay. You can pick it up at another time, and in the meantime, you can check out our free fun game.
Today on Free Fun, we are talking about CureoCity. CureoCity. I think it's a pun. There's some curing involved, and I suppose you're in a sort of city, although it's
are you
certainly
curious?
not a functioning one. Oh yeah.
For the full pun effect?
I think you most definitely are, because there are some curious things going on around you in this game. So it is so initially, like, you know, it seems like it's a sort of RPG battle, right? So you have a weapon and you have a shield, and there are enemies that attack you and you attack them. But then you quickly realize that that's not what it is at all. It's very much a puzzle game. So each battle is a puzzle. You're not, you're not just trying to pound on each other until one of you is dead. You're trying to solve the puzzle. What do I need to do? There are various, ways that you can do things. Like you can hold one thing in both hands, which is going to make that thing more powerful. Or you can have like a shield in one hand and a sword in the other hand. And then eventually your partner joins too, and then you have two people to manage who can, swap items back and forth, and which hand you hold things in depends on their effectiveness. And so every battle that you come across is a puzzle. So it's very much a puzzle game, and I found it very interesting. I like this sort of puzzle game, where there's this problem that if you just try to hit it straight on will be completely unsurmountable, and you have to figure out what do I do at each turn in order to accomplish this win.
That actually kept me. That actually got me for a while. It was probably around the third fight or so where I was like, oh, no, this is a puzzle now. It's not just a straight RPG adventure.
Yeah, maybe it was about that too, because I came in really not knowing very much of anything, so I was like, well, I'll just keep hitting him with a sword. That's what you do. But no, that doesn't work.
That works for everything. What are you talking about?
I solve all my problems in real life too. Just hit it with a sword.
Just hit it over and over.
Yep.
Till it complies.
Well, no, and I really like the story on this one too. It is. The story is a little bit obtuse, and it requires you to put some stuff together, at least until the very end. And I kind of appreciate that. Like there's a bit of an amnesia story to it, which a lot of people I know hate, but it really works in this context.
Amnesia? Really?
In this one? Yeah. Not the game. I meant like the mental thing.
Oh, okay. I was like, really?
Not the game.
Actually,
not the horror game.
Well, I was gonna say it actually reminds me of what the fuck? Not Deltarune, the other one, the first one. Fucking shit. Toby Fox, come on. Give it to me.
I'm just gonna stare at the camera here for a moment.
God damn it. My old riddled brain. What? Someone help me. Go ahead, just
Undertale?
Thank you. Sweet Christ, Jesus. Okay, yeah, Undertale. Go ahead.
Yeah, it has an Undertale sort of vibe to it to a certain extent.
Because of like the passive or aggressive path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm, no, kinda, but not really.
All
No, like it's aggressive. You have to. I think there's only one that doesn't require you to hit them with swords. The you get a choice though at the end of each battle as to whether you're going to purify them of corruption or
Purify them of life.
purify them of life. Yeah. Um, I accidentally I was trying to do an all purify run, and messed up because it is a timed choice. And something distracted me as I was like, just as I had finished, it was like, oh, okay. And I like glanced away to take care of the thing, came back, and it's like, oh, all right, then I will do that. So I have no idea what choice got made. I assume it was a death one based on the achievements. But
based on the fact that somebody died.
Yeah. But it's really cute. It's nice and it's also relatively short. I'm not going to say it's like nice and short, because I do think it could go much further. But I will say that for the 70 minutes it took me to get through that, and most of that, I would say about half of that was on the last 3 fights. It's a solid get together. I want to see more of it, and they kind of set the stage for it. I don't know that there will be more, which is kind of sad.
By the way, this was born out of a game jam by G-Cores. And so the whole team met through the game jam, made this game in 21 days. And they say it takes about an hour to play through it, according to them.
Yeah.
Did they make this game in 21 days?
That's what it says. It says, we are Bread on Board,
Okay.
a collective of independent game developers spread across 4 countries, united by our passion, meeting during Game Jam. Our game demo was born in the Boom Challenge by Game Jam G-Cores. With only 21 days, we created a game based on a given theme, etc., etc.
Okay, I see it. I read that, and I said we created a game, and I did not get that game that they created was this game.
It was under about this game. That's why I'm assuming.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense now that I actually think about it. Although I highly suspect that they have polished it since the Game Jam version, because it doesn't
for sure.
it doesn't feel like a Game Jam version. It feels like a fully polished game.
That's a hell of a lot of art to do.
Oh yeah. It reminds me of a game like the story, not the gameplay. The story reminds me of a game called like Bear With Me. Are you familiar with that game? It's an adventure game called BEAR, Bear With Me. It has that sort of like, there's this main sort of plot that's going on, but with all these hints that that's not actually what's going on, right?
Yeah.
That there's actually something completely different going on, and you just get hints of that as time goes on. So just that aspect reminded me of that Bear With Me game, which is also a very
similar. I'm looking at Bear With Me episode 1 right now, and yeah, it's very similar in terms of that tone of young child with a trusted confidant of childhood adventure.
With hints of something that
else
that's not being maybe exactly what's really happening. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So I did not get all the way to the end of the game, but I got a good ways into it and had a good amount of fun. I think that it is, especially if you really like sitting down and puzzling through things and trying to figure out what it is that you need to do to get past obstacles, I think, which is something I do like. So,
and the order of operations and
right.
Yep.
No,
it was solid, and it's free.
There you go.
It is.
Free is for me, but you know what else is for me?
You're gonna end the show now, aren't you?
It is the end of the show. The end of the show is for me because that's what time it is. Thank you to everyone who showed up at the live stream today. Just as a reminder, though, normally we have a set time for live streams, but it's been thrown through a loop because of my schedule. Next week we will not have a show because of life events, but the week following and for the foreseeable future, pretty much every show should be Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, unless otherwise stated on Twitter or Discord, because again, big schedule changes and things like that in our normal lives, especially mine, but we're going to try and make it consistent for Wednesdays. That said, if you're listening to the edited version on Spotify, YouTube, etc., you know, it probably doesn't matter to you because you can listen anytime. But you're welcome to stop by the live show. Just keep an eye on our Twitter and Discord for updates. Big thanks to Prepposterone and Discreet Infinity for their Patreon support. I always appreciate it. If you want to support us financially, you can do so on Patreon or by subscribing on Twitch. But if you don't have the funds to do that, that's okay. You can always just do things like stop by. You know, viewing helps. Also, sharing helps. Also, emailing us, contact@indiegameriot.net if you have any games to check out, people to talk to, news stories to share, all that sort of stuff. Again, we're on Twitter @IndieGameRiot, and then our Discord is the best way to talk to us no matter what, and that link is in the description below whatever platform you're viewing and or listening on. Let me see. Just make. Oh, again,
IRX is coming up.
Yeah, reminder. IRX coming
Show
up.
The logo.
Next
Show
month.
the logo.
Shit. Hold on. I'm not. Fuck.
Wait. Yeah.
Wait.
You got it?
Nope. Wait. There
shit.
it is. Indie Revolution
Okay.
Expo is coming up next month. So again, get your games in. Get your presentations in. Register on IndieGameRiot.com. Or I'm sorry. IndieRevolutionExpo.com and hit the register tab. Tell your friends. We want to make this as big as possible. Get all the eyes on it if we can. And the Game Jam is going on right now. It only just started, so you still have time to get in there. $100 prize, free t-shirt, and an exhibit during IRX. So go do that on Itch.io. And then you can find that link. If you can't find it on Itch.io, you can find a direct link on IndieRevolutionExpo.com. Any last words, gentlemen?
Did you remember to file your taxes?
I did.
Okay.
I actually do it pretty early on.
I completely forgot. I did mine this morning. I'm lucky. I live. The IRS has rolled out the new, like, they're calling it direct file pilot, where it's basically just like you think like instead of like the normal forms where it's like, oh, re-enter in all of this bullshit and then do the thing, it's literally just like, tell me this box, we've calculated, are you doing anything special? No? Okay, moving on, done. Like, it took me less than 15 minutes to file my taxes.
I'm glad they moved away from TurboTax and all that shit, because they were ripping people off left and right and like
still are
borderline scamming them. So they moved to the federal shit, and it's like essentially the same software. But yeah, I do mine early on because I like getting money.
Okay.
So.
Well, if you haven't, it's you got a couple hours left before the deadline. So
how many people are just rushing?
All of our audience is like, fuck it, I'm off Twitch. I gotta go do my taxes.
Well, half of them are in other countries, so I don't know what the dates are there, but yeah. Last word, Ian says last word is blow shit. Indeed. Blow shit. Indeed. Hootie in the blow shit. It still gets me. It's so dumb. All right. Well, say your goodbyes.
Have a good one, folks.
Bye-bye.